Week 3 Street Fighter League preseason of the 3 nonetheless, and we're already set up with our next matches. Tasty Steve.
Vicious.
And we're already set. Now, we talked about Psycho versus Brian F being our first match. Brian F, definitely no stranger to the world of Street Fighter League, nor is Psycho. I'm a big fan and a friend of Brian F. Psycho is one of those guys I was not too familiar with until I saw him on Street Fighter League, and I was very much impressed. I'm interested to see what he's doing now because I haven't heard too much from him, but a chance to showcase that talent coming into this season, this preseason, I should say. So talk to us a little bit about those guys.
So the history behind Psycho and Brian F is that they were former teammates, part of Team Spirit, if I'm not mistaken, guided by Justin Wong in season 1, right? But the problem is, Brian F, right, he didn't really get to play Balrog too much. He was the target of the ban's majority of the time. So a lot of the pressure went towards Psycho and Justin Wong. So it's kind of interesting to see this dynamic being played out again. I want to see what Brian F has to deliver against Psycho. As a matter of fact, I want to just see what Psycho has with this new Necalli season 5, honestly, because it's been a while since we've seen him, I'm not gonna lie, in terms of the CPT performance and just his presence overall. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he's a very, very strong player. He was on Street Fighter League for a reason. And we actually have a couple words from him in this interview saying what he's been up to and what he's gonna do for this matchup.
Dude, it's insane. Like, you literally cannot call like which team is going to take it. Like, you can't tell who's the weak team. You can't tell who's the strongest team. They're just all insane, man. And I think every single team there has the potential to beat Japan for sure. Like, there isn't a weak team this year. Insane. I'm super excited, dude. Today I'm playing against my boy Brian F, and dude's a super strong player. I play like usually one style against Brian, and it's to manipulate his spacing. I feel like it's one of the few things that I'm actually like a lot better than him at. The way to beat Brian, in my opinion, I think, is just to make him overextend. You know, Balrog with the dash punch, he tends to overextend a lot more than you have to. And that's if he picks Balrog. He might pull out the G, but assuming Balrog, yeah, just to manipulate the spacing, and then when I get the hits, making sure I'm just capitalizing on every hit I get, and, you know, keeping that mix on standby.
And so Psycho, again, practicing Necalli for the most part. I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to present towards Brian F, because Brian F, man, he's a monstrosity of a player, honestly. This guy has evolved from just being a Balrog main to just a Street Fighter player in general. And I mean that in the sense that he's been picking up so many other characters and doing really, really well.
I think that Brian F has shown some of like the most exponential growth when it comes to a player from Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is definitely like kind of carving its own history of players, and that's one of the things I love about Street Fighter, because you get to highlight these players that might not be new to some, but are new to others. Brian F is one of the shining examples of what you can look forward to and see from somebody that's established and practices Street Fighter V. Let's get some words from Brian F.
CJ Truth versus Dual Kevin, that's pretty interesting pairing, because I think both of those guys are masters of doing nothing, and that's definitely a compliment to the two. You can't jump at either of them. I expect this game to be a lot about what they are not doing. I wouldn't be able to call it. I think they're both two of the strongest players in the US right now, so I just know it'll be a great match to watch. In season 1, me and Psycho were teammates, which like I said is awesome, because we definitely go way back. I mean, he's one of the dudes who I would play and practice with when I was first up and coming in the FGC. I think I'm going to pick V-Skill 2 with Balrog. I don't think, he doesn't main the character. I don't think he's going to know what's up. So I'm going to power up with V-Skill 2 with Balrog, and Psycho is going to get rush punched. I mean, he's not going to know what's coming. I think I'm going to hit him with some unfamiliarity. We're in season 5 of Street Fighter 5, new V skills, new tactics, and I'm going to go with something new that he's not expecting, and I think it'll shake him up.
Brian F versus Psycho. Brian F dropping a few words of wisdom right there. An avid streamer. I feel like an educator. He's a philosopher of Street Fighter V, I say. I feel like that's what we have now in the world of Street Fighter. I consider Brian F one of the philosophers, him having some very intelligent words, but I think we're gonna get into it. I think it's all been said and done. We have Brian F rocking a spiffy facial hair over here.
Yeah.
Psycho looking just the same. Nothing's changed.
Babyface assassin. Psycho, nothing's changed. He hasn't aged a single day. Not a single season.
Not a
Has
season.
gone under those eye bags whatsoever. But we do have the tried and true Necalli coming from Psycho. Glad to see it. Oh, with V-Skill 2, that's what my question was. But Balrog, on the other hand, also has V-Skill 2. You know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see some Dempsey rolls.
Oh, and this is perfect versus Necalli. This
That's true. That's
is perfect
true.
versus Necalli, bro. Like you cannot be able to fight Necalli competently if you can't slow him down. Dash punches powered up are definitely gonna do that. Let's see.
He's looking for that space already. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Look, now you can't do anything. That was a perfect example of exactly what I was talking about. The fact that he went for the exact same move and got hit for it and then went for it after the V skill changed everything. Speaking of that V skill, V skill 2 from Necalli is definitely a topic. At the beginning of season 5, a lot of people was talking about it, but it kind of just fell off. But that vomit that you see right there on the ground, crumple all the time, will be able to get a follow-up. It can cross you up in some instances. You got to be careful.
Yeah, there's a lot of utility behind it, right? Allowing Necalli to kind of traverse some of his bad matchups where he gets spaced out. He gets to follow behind it. It's like an even slower Sonic Boom.
V skill 2 is so good
plus
for
frames.
Balrog.
Oh,
And he gets so much more chip now. Activation off the standing roundhouse. Here comes Necalli. That V trigger never ends though. It stays there.
The trigger that never ends. I see you. Activation raw. That could have been a big deal, and I like that bust out from Psycho. It was a do or die situation because if the V skill or the V trigger hit, right, that would have done a decent amount of damage and resumed the Oki.
And he's running that Dirty Bull, so that's a command throw. So now you know that Necalli's gonna be a lot more, a lot more active up close with those buttons because he does not want to get caught by that V trigger too. But this is gonna open up the neutral game for Brian F.
You see how active he is with the dash punches now? He's making sure that Psycho does not get a single
the
V skill
shimmy.
out.
So much damage.
Jeez! No bar required.
bar.
No batteries necessary.
My man literally has no resources whatsoever.
That's
Literally
it. That's the
no
one.
resources whatsoever did that much damage. And the V skill 2 has opened up Balrog's play so much. And look at what it's done to kind of like, separate the Balrog players now. Like the V skill 2, the V trigger 2, you get so much variety now. Uh-oh,
no.
not ready.
Oh.
Wow. He definitely didn't mean to do that.
100%. See, now he's playing way more compact, right? Initially off the get-go, with round 1, he was looking to kind of get his V-Skill 2 off, but now that he's kind of seeing Psycho's tendencies to activate his own V-Skill 2, he's just trying to stuff it out. And now he's just containing Psycho in this corner.
He is so getting interrupted, and you can tell that Brian F knows how to deal with a Necalli. Oh, he lucky. He actually got crushed in the air, so that made following up a lot harder. There's the V-Skill, and you can just see Brian F just zoning in, getting closer to that corner. Uh-oh. Full CA is available, won't even need it. Feel me though.
Oh yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yo, Psycho. I feel like Necalli is very much a gatekeeper character. He has 2 very good V skills, if you ask me, and his trigger is still really, really good, especially if you can utilize it. I mean, he doesn't get access to V reversals, obviously, but I still feel like he's super strong. Macho Bowl is the perfect example that you play because there's so many other characters you have to worry about, the G's and all these other characters. But I feel like Necalli's still very much somebody that you're going to look at while playing in a competitive scene.
He's the kind of character that can play every one of his matchups well by just switching V skills. I feel
Yes.
like.
See?
That's the scariest thing. And then once you get that enhanced Necalli, it all just works together so well. I don't know if there's too many bad matchups for Necalli, but even so, at worst, it's like 6-4. It's still not bad. It's still very much so doable. And that's just the kind of character he is. So again, Necalli very much so a gatekeeper-esque character. He has all the tool sets to succeed. He has a command grab. He has a 3-frame normal. He has great range on his normals, by the way.
That's true.
And he also has an EX uppercut.
Yep, that counts as that's your reversal, bro. He definitely has all the tools. Block. Oh, you just gonna vomit on the ground, bro?
Nasty.
Okay.
Who's gonna
Jump
clean
in.
that up?
Scoop
Damn.
him in. Nice
He
button.
finds the answer by cleaning it up with Balrog. I get it. That's nasty.
Well, there it is, man. That EX Dragon Punch just to get out of the pressure.
Ooh.
I thought that was gonna work out. Lots of blocks done right there after that powered up dash punch. Oh, all you have to do is tap Necalli. If you can hit him it makes the V skill 2 go away, but that's the problem. It's like a controllable sonic boom. You throw it out and you just walk behind it. Nobody wants to get close to throw up because it makes them throw up.
Yeah, that's the thing. As soon as I hear somebody gag, I kind of get the reflexes as well.
All right.
It's like, oh, geez, don't do that. Please. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. With
Okay.
finish.
Okay. And that's why you got to be careful of that V skill 2. It controls the neutral even better. I felt like his V skill 1 already controlled the neutral amazing, right? But now you have a slow-moving ground projectile, which
That
is super
crumples?
foreign. It's super foreign in the world of Street Fighter. A ground projectile? Come on, dude. That crumples? Come on, man. Good punish. The whiff punish on top of that. That V skill, once again.
Oh, I like that. Brian F is kind of teasing the range. He's like, yeah, go ahead, try to get this V skill 2 off. Psycho responds, I don't need it. Oh,
No
boy.
CA?
Oh, he doesn't
No
want to do
CA,
it.
no need it.
He
You
doesn't
can still
need
got
it.
trigger though. Now if he go activate,
no.
the bull is dirty. The bull is dirty.
Oh,
Well, I couldn't believe he stood there. I cannot believe he stood there. And the fact that it whiffed. Okay.
oh, he's
Okay.
gonna throw up. Look at the pressure from Feel Me Dough.
Oh no.
And that's just fine with
no,
Psycho.
no.
He's like, we'll take this trade. You're gonna slip on this. Don't worry about it.
Like a banana peel, bro.
I wish it was that kind of animation where they slip.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That-
yeah. What? Just
The throwback. Whoa, whoa. Man, dude, Brian F is not looking good. Of course, this is best of 7. First of 4 is how you get the W in these exhibitions. Once again, Brian F, this is an exhibition of sorts for his skill as a hopeful for future seasons of Street Fighter League. And I think it's really cool because now we're getting kind of that door where we're getting all levels of players to get an opportunity. Psycho back obviously has made some improvements to his game.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
V skill to Necalli is definitely a problem. And not to take anything away from Brian F, because his Balrog is looking like the best Balrog we've seen him play in quite some time. Just not able to stop my boy Psycho from getting the game started, man.
I like how he always picks this specific outfit and color. The sequins boxing gloves.
Oh no, those are the sesame seed gloves, bro.
This is
The sesame seed gloves. You didn't know he hit you in the face, you just spitting out. What are these seeds? It's like a bun from a burger joint, bro. Devourer.
Is that time already? The Devour Hour?
Necalli and the Magic School Bus.
There's no escape.
Devourer.
Fight.
All right, here we go. What a
nice
whiff
whiff
punish.
punish.
Jeez.
Block, block, hold up. Just vomit on the floor. No anti-air. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, as long as we see this move, you're gonna hear it a couple times. I got some variations though, so it's not gonna be the same one. Stomp.
Psycho doing a great job of keeping the neutral contained and whiff punishing any sort of approach that Brian F has. But as soon as Brian closes the gap, frame trap city. Do not press a Brian. The reversal. I miss that being a regular special move.
Me too. Block. Bro, he switched to V skill 1 in between right there, Brian F.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could see him trying to traverse past the V skill 2 with it, but that's going to still be a problem if Psycho follows up behind it so close, right? He's still going to be able to block whatever's coming or even stop Balrog getting his track.
If you notice, one of the things that he's doing a lot more is that he's actually doing standing heavy kick. And I think that is one of the reasons that V skill 2 for Balrog is so good. And, overhead reset, this is good. One more situation can spell a win for
damn.
Brian F to bring it back, and that's the power of this V trigger 1. Now, don't get me wrong, you get the reset powers of, V skill 2, V trigger 2. However, being able to continue that pressure is one of the things that you get while you're in V trigger 1, and you get the damage on top of it.
Yeah. Having that V skill 1 to kind of set the resets up is so important. It just goes hand in hand with V trigger 1, right? I think this is the better choice for Brian F. It's not more so than controlling the neutral, it's more so of the potential damage you would get from V trigger. And speaking of potential damage, almost working on this kill real quick.
Yo, potentially the round right here, speaking of damage. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I may have spoke too soon.
Big
Never mind.
confirmed,
Crank
big
it up.
damage. one
Sesame
punch.
seed gloves. You ordered this. Hot off the oven, bro.
Feel good robbing me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Fair game.
A little bit.
I deserved it.
I'm tired of going back to neutral. I was like, wait a minute. We're going back to neutral. You're just laying down the vomit every time.
What did I say?
You weren't
That's
wrong.
exactly what I was talking about. Psycho says, hey man, you feel cool robbing me like that? And he was like, yeah, I was tired of getting reset in the neutral. And that's exactly what we were touching on. It was just the fact that Necalli makes you respect that neutral so much more walking behind that V skill too. And Brian F was still stuck in the sense of like, well, I only have my B trigger too, which is gonna make him not throw out those big heavy buttons in neutral, but it's gonna keep him away from me. The minute that threat left, you see more standing heavy kick. You see more activity coming from Psycho in the neutral game, but even more so, that gave Brian F the W. Because he was more active, he was able to find more of those hits. He was able to push to the corner, and those small shimmies got even stronger because that damage output to steal that first round of game number 3 is what kept him alive. Brian F still going strong.
It's mind-blowing. It's like, what should Psycho even do? It's like, how many options does he actually have? Because all of them lead to death, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
got so many calculated approaches. Brian F.
No, that's definitely true.
Scientist. Oh, no. That was a great trade, by the way, for Brian.
You see what I'm talking about? Look at what he does. He literally gets a couple hits, make you block, and then back up. Heavy kick right behind it.
Whew.
There you go. Standing heavy punch. Roundhouse to answer back. Tries to go for the B skill to see if Psycho's going to take the bait. He does not, though.
Ooh, big whip punish again.
And that's, oh my gosh. B skill 2 negates all of that. B skill 2 negates all of that. We saw it in the very first round. The first interaction was a whiff punish by Psycho. But once he saw the V skill 2 power up, you can't touch dash punch anymore.
Ooh,
Big jump in.
Giant jump in there from Psycho. Already getting the corner positioning. And he sets up for spin.
You see that? That was the morning heat. Like, oh.
What? What do you mean? I don't even know how to commentate this with the.
Yo, that noise, man.
Oh,
Get scooped.
dumb.
And this is what I was talking about.
Do it
Setting up-
again. Oh,
Okay. B trigger. He can go for
Reset?
a reset. Yeah.
you
Caught him
wild
reaching.
man.
Oh, wow. I did not think that was going to work. I thought he was going to get clipped by the vomit. There was no wet floor sign. He
Uh-oh.
was going to slip.
Trying to rob him again.
Standing heavy kick. V reversal blocked. That was so good. That was perfect for Brian F. Because now he does not have to worry about the activation. He's going to keep a slow
he still
Necalli
pressed the
in control. Brian F, I see you. Man, it's crazy. The switch up on the V skills and the trigger did so much for Brian F.
Oh boy. Dashing right out the gate. Checking the lows. Oh, using that armor. Get off me. EX upper. I always forget.
Oh, God.
Oh. Don't you love that sequence? You see the fierce and then stand, jab, dash punch. It feels like Super Turbo.
I thought you were talking about the V skill 2 from Necalli for a second. I was about to say, yeah, dude, I love it.
Oh, I
man.
meant like Balrog. Just, you know? It's so good. Oh, dunks. Hard knockdown? You know it. The sweep.
Yeah, he catches him hitting the buttons on wake up. Dash punch actually gets him out of trouble. Target, once again, that's the second time
Ooh,
we've
check
seen
your
that
cabeza.
work out in his favor. Goes for the reset. Not gonna have enough
Oh,
meter. Oh, I
mercy,
was
Senor
wrong as
Blanco,
hell.
mercy.
2 for me, 2 for you, Brian F. Cheesing up.
Max damage.
Yep. You like that V reversal out of the corner though? That option select
Yeah,
dash
I like-
punch?
The OS?
Yeah, that was some smart stuff right there.
I like it.
Brian F was definitely being sarcastic about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, damn, I've been out of the game for something. He said the OS. I was like, wait, what?
I don't know about all that. Also, good changeup from Psycho using the command grab into the sweep. I did mention it was a hard knockdown. That was completely false. But just having that knockdown in general where you pop him up right in front of you, you still get the Oki situation whether or not you want a meaty or a command grab. It still sets you up in that potential loop, right? I was actually kind of seeing whether or not Psycho would use that meter a little bit more instead of just holding on to it because it's not helping him out once he gets in the corner, right? So he might as well use that now. I haven't seen him bust out on Wake Up just yet, but we're getting closer to that final match. Maybe we'll see it eventually.
He's definitely been using it more so to find gaps and get the knockdown and change momentum. He's not using his meter, Psycho, he's not using his meter for damage. He's using it more for just to keep the momentum. Things get out of control, EXDP. You know what I'm saying? Things I need to take back the momentum, I'm gonna hit you with this EX scoop. But we have a character switch. He's pulling out the Colleen.
No escape.
This dude's Psycho. Looking at his nails like, oh, you didn't know?
Uh-oh.
And I said that we don't see many Colleens out there, and look at us now.
I want to know that statistical sheet of how much Colleen's been played over the years and how many people have like switched over, as well as like G. You know how like they always put out like how many players have been playing this character in ranked? I feel like Colleen is definitely one of those characters that have increased.
Character usage data.
Yep.
I like the poke game though. Psycho, great poke game. Gets the activation with the EX Parabellum, not the activation, but the confirm. Excuse me. Full trigger on the table for Brian F though. Man, that go forward is doing work.
Ooh, that could have been a cool trade combo.
Okay, blocked. Tries to make him swing on that roundhouse. Not gonna happen.
Ooh, that could have been big. Brian F was absolutely ready for the view reversal. Just mistimed it.
Oh, tries to go for the overhead. Psycho says nothing doing. That should be it. Let me get that. No, dropped. He could have went for the air throw reset.
He just wanted that meter.
Oh,
he
man.
just wanted that meter. These guys are fighting like they're trying to be Justin Long's favorite kid, I feel like. No, I was the better player on Team Spirit. I don't know, man. These guys are fighting wild.
Dang. Fighting for favorites. All right. It's like, man, you just not going to kill him? He's like, nah, I want the meter, bruh. Okay.
Ah, a little bit of a mishap. I think he anticipated Brian doing a back roll instead.
Yeah.
But either way, gets him in the corner. Rock bottom once again. Ooh.
Oh, he was doing a lot of dancing. Double dash. Forth and back. Wow, that was meaty as hell.
That hit was
punched her in the knee.
Elbow to knee connection for sure. Oh, there's nothing. No punish on the target combo.
Brian F taking his time. You can see the focus. Both of these guys trying to close out. Psycho finds the hit though. Spins the meter, goes for the side switch. Okay, activate. Oh,
yeah.
Done. Oh my gosh.
Colleen, what is this? Okay.
Does that mean he's gonna switch over to G? He's like, all right, you got a counter pick for me? Are you gonna switch characters on me?
He said okay. And I think that's what's about to happen. I don't know for sure, but I feel like we're about to see a G. Or maybe he just switches back to his trigger. Maybe that's what he does. Either a character switch or a V-skill switch.
Whoever he picks, he has to stick with it, even if he wins, because again, winner stays on. They gotta save the same character. So I gotta say that Colleen play is looking pretty nice on the side of Psycho. He did everything right, I feel like. There was only one mishap where he set up Hailstorm. He was trying to get a little fancy with it in anticipation for a back roll, but everything else was super solid fundamentally. He understands that character very well and took advantage of that V trigger too, being able to dash up, sneaking that low, and I called it, man. There's the counter pick G.
That's true. That's true. He said okay. Once I heard the okay, I was like, yep. That's a setting in to believe that you don't want to do this with that character anymore. All right, here we go. Is it 2-2 right now?
3-2 on the side of Psycho. Taking that Colleen W.
This is a good set.
It's been pretty even so far, yeah. First 2 games going to Psycho, the second 2 going to Brian F. And here we go, we see the switches here. Let's take a look at how it works out, Colleen versus G. That's a big game changer, by the way. Just having a fireball.
I was just about to say, not even just a regular fireball, it's a down angle fireball.
Oh, now it's a multi-hitting fireball.
Oh, no.
Get off me.
The checks that come from Psycho have been really good. Stopping all dashes. Yeah, stand line kick buffer to that EX dash punch from G is a main tool of his. And you don't see a lot of people do it, but you see Brian F priming it. That stand line kick is definitely dash punch. Got to be careful at that range though. She has very good normals controlling. Parabellum.
He goes for the hail setup and he knows that he's going to chase him down as soon as he jumps.
Oh,
was that a counter?
That was definitely counter. Maybe it was just a little too late on activity. Did scoop. Impact. All right, not dead. Wheel kick dead.
He's definitely dead.
Yeah.
It's G, baby.
Yeah. Look.
Get some of that potassium. There you go. Bananas.
Yes. We are. Man, I can't stand fighting this character, bro. It's oh gosh, this dude G. It's like he knows.
Do you see that? He gets the buffer and keep you locked down into that fireball. This guy has it all.
Stand heavy kick.
Ugh. So good.
That down angle fireball is so good. Oh, God.
And he has some of the best bufferable normals in the game. Excuse me. I got too ahead of myself.
Oh, no side.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, wow, that bad boy was on his shoulder. Dude, G is actually tall.
Oh, he feels the weather a lot more. Oh, what a punish!
Almost got picked up again right there in the corner.
Oh, he
Whoa.
committed to that V-skill too. All right, so this is very interesting. I think if Brian gets a solid hit with any sort of conversion, he wins because he's gonna have critical art. Oh,
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
safe jump. Oh, I like that. Into the tip throw, off the neutral jump.
Activate,
Big damage
done.
incoming. That's
And
it.
you only, I mean, look, and if you need to, you can still spin the meter. Yeah, things are picking up for Brian F. The G switch has working out for ye. Oh, dude.
I'm glad it's down to the wire, honestly, because this is the closest set we've had so far in the preseason. This is gonna be very interesting. Will Psycho stay with Colleen, or is now the time to pick the Necalli pick with V-Skill 1? Ooh.
Now that's what I was thinking. That's when in my head I was just like, there's no way Psycho wasn't prepared for this. So I feel like the V-Skill 1 Necalli can definitely come back. In all honesty, V-Skill 2 Necalli would do it too. To be honest,
Yeah.
V-Skill 2 Necalli could do it too. You stick to your guns or you're switching up, son.
It was a
Switch it
setup,
up.
Steve.
And what I say, V, trigger, skill 2, yup. I already know it.
The double dosage.
Now this is when it's gonna get tricky. Because now, like if he goes for like this power there, you literally could just set up V skill 2 and walk behind it.
Because it is my
Now I kind of want to see the interaction between G's Fireball and V-Skill 2.
Just cancel each other out.
power.
But I want to see what happens afterwards with Psycho. Like, is he just going to keep playing that game and build up the V-Skill or the V-Gauge? What's he going to do? Because I feel like the longer that he waits, it gives G more chances to level up his presidency.
Oh, nice button. No, actually you're right. But I mean, still though, like that V skill knocks down. So if he hits him, then he knocks off all the presidential levels.
Yeah, you have a point. Very good point. Yeah. I like how he's teasing the idea, though.
my. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
It's forcing Psycho. Oh, barely whiffs.
That was actually sick. Yeah, he's doing that to kind of like fake him out to commit to something. Yeah, he's walking back and doing those buttons to make him fake out thinking he's doing V skill 2. And it's working out in his favor because he's trying to commit to wheel kick as well, but he's still ready for the anti-air. So you probably just have to wait it out. You don't want to hit any buttons versus G's V trigger.
I think that's really good on the side of Psycho, though, as long as he's throwing out. Wait a minute, hold up. Oh, you saw the start of a command grab. I'll talk about my point later. Big counter hit that could have been
Oh gosh!
more.
No! Oh, I wouldn't have spent that. I would not have spent that. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Being within that range to still contest with the button. Okay, so with that V skill 2, right? I think it's great against G while he's in V trigger because if Brian F is worried about neutralizing that instead, he's wasting that
Yep.
V gauge and forcing himself to lower the damage potential. So that's fine for Psycho. Oh, finish that!
Early cash out. Slipped on the vomit right into the CA into the corner. Big jump in. Oh, this is not good.
Command grab.
Get scooped.
Overhead.
No,
Okay, whatever.
we still would have blocked it though. We would have blocked it. Dead. Set point. Final game. Oh, this is good. This is a good set.
The closest set we've seen thus far here in the preseason.
Tied 3 games apiece. Best of 7. First of 4. I like that. Dashing up a little bit with G. Sometimes you just got to be just a little bit disrespectful. Just to let them know.
And I like the confidence coming from Psycho, playing it a lot closer of a range instead of relying on V-Skill 2
Anti-air.
to jump in, gets interrupted.
Man, if I am... Oh, wow. Oh, no. Yep. Buttons
Ooh,
getting
big
crazy.
sweep.
Crush. Oh,
Son.
wow. The confirm.
Oh,
No back
no
throw.
side switch though.
Marching. The medium kicks. Done and done. Light them up.
Shield deliver. Oh,
Light
Games,
them
my
up.
bro.
Good games, my bro. It's always a pleasure. That was actually sick. G said it's always a pleasure to answer. Psycho, that was godlike. Brian F says good games. It's always a pleasure. Brian F bringing it back.
Classy
There
man.
was a lot of touch and go in that set, man. Starting off with the Balrog, starting off with the V trigger and V skill 2, switching to V skill 1, finally getting those W's. Counter pick by Psycho to switch to Colleen. Doing phenomenal, by the way, in a very kind of different Colleen, where he's playing like a different pace.
Yeah.
Very poke heavy. But Brian F is the winner of that set, and rightfully so, man. Smart counter picks, made the proper adjustments, even switching from V skill to V skill, or V trigger to V trigger, and even going so far as to pull out the G. And that's pretty far because that means you're cheating. But go on.
I mean, there's nothing more that really can be said except to take a look at what Brian F had to say about the matchup against Psycho.
Yeah, I was actually kind of caught off guard by how close it was, because I think Psycho's just like a natural talent when it comes to fighting games, and he caught me off guard with the V skill 2 so from Necalli. I thought I knew that matchup better than I did, because going into this, I was thinking I was going to catch him off guard with my V skill 2, but that just Balrog's V skill 2 gives him the ability to power up from a distance and then rush in. But Necalli's throwing down the vomit each time, and if I rush in, I get clipped, and I'm like, this didn't work out as I had originally planned. So I went down those 2 games immediately with the V skill 2, and I was like, all right, I got to switch up my game plan, and I went back to V skill 1. But yeah, he caught me off guard. I actually learned some new things in the matchup. I was happy to show off my G a little bit. That's the side character I've been working on a lot, which Street Fighter League inspired me to do, to have more characters in my repertoire. So it was a really good set. Came down to the wire, and I'm happy I won.
Brian F again taking it over Psycho in a very, very close game. The closest we've seen so far in the preseason. It went down to the final round between those two. Again, the adaptation between his Balrog and G, depending on the match, was exactly what you can expect for Street Fighter League, exactly what you would need to do just in case the ban pick happens. Only an example, a tidbit, a sample size of what you could expect for Season 3. Steve, calm down over there.
The travel size for Season 3. I would like to say no, but I think Psycho versus Brian F is a nice testament to what Street Fighter League has become, right? Brian F has stepped it up across the board no matter what. You said before you've seen him in a lot of events. I've even seen him in events, exhibitions, not only tournament. Haven't seen so much of Psycho, but his gameplay definitely leads me to believe he's more than prepared to deal with any tournament, whether it be an online CPT or a Street Fighter League.